MMA Fighting presents Timeline, Jedrzeczyk vs. Namajunas. January 5th, 2013, Invicta FC 4, Esparza vs. Hyatt. Rose Namajunas makes her professional debut for Invicta against Emily Kagan. Namajunas wins by submission. Namajunas would win her next fight by an unbelievable flying armbar in just 12 seconds. July 26, 2014, UFC on Fox 12, Lawler vs. Brown, San Jose, California. Joanna Jedrzeczyk makes her US and UFC debut, defeating Joanna Lima.
Joanna Lima and Joanna Jedrzeczyk.
Yeah, I'm very happy because before I was fighting 125, so I said before that I'm not gonna do 115, but when I've got the contract with the UFC, I just did it, so I feel really good. I felt really good before the fight, so I'm really happy. Now I have 7 MMA fights pro, just 2 amateur, but I did like almost 100 fights Muay Thai all over the world. So it was my big dream to come to America. So I'm really happy. So the dreams come true.
Can you just pronounce your name exactly?
Yeah, it's difficult. It's typical Polish. Jedrzeczyk. Jedrzeczyk.
December 12th, 2014. The Ultimate Fighter finale, Esparza vs. Namajunas. Rose Namajunas joins the cast of The Ultimate Fighter. The competition reality show will crown the inaugural UFC 115-pound champion. Namajunas goes 3-0 on the show, with submission finishes over Alex Chambers, Joanne Calderwood, and Randa Marcos. She faces number 1 seed and former Invicta FC champion Carla Esparza in the finale.
Looking at your performances, and let's compare them to Carla's, do you think that you were the best fighter in the house? You had the best fights, best finishes, all that stuff?
Absolutely. I think a finish is way better than a decision, But, sometimes a 3-round war can be very exciting. And obviously, the fight with Jessica Penne was a little more action-packed and a little more striking. You saw her boxing a little bit more and less just kind of like holding people. But, I don't think it really... it pales in comparison to my fights, just with the aggression that I bring and just the intensity that I have.
Okay, let's end on this. I mean, you're just hours away from the biggest fight of your life. You're fighting for the UFC title, unprecedented as far as the Ultimate Fighter is concerned. Have you started to dream a bit about what it might feel like to hold that belt? Have you allowed yourself to do that?
Yes, I've been dreaming about that for pretty much a year nonstop, or maybe a little bit more. Ever since I lost to Tisha, I had to make some goals and really just kind of have a sense of direction in my career. And I learned a lot about that loss. So ever since then, I just, I give shout out to a certain fan that made a little drawing of me with the belt, and I've been looking at that every day in the house, and I brought it with me, out here in Vegas. So I'm just going to keep visualizing that and keep dreaming about it.
Namajunas suffers her first defeat by stoppage as Esparza dominates and wins the inaugural UFC strawweight belt. December 13th, 2014, UFC on Fox 13, Dos Santos vs. Miocic, Phoenix, Arizona. In what would be her most controversial fight, Jedrzeczyk wins a split decision over the undefeated Claudia Gadelha, who at the time was considered the number 1 strawweight in the world.
It was a pretty bloody fight. I saw you showed.
Yeah, I can show you the fight. It's a real fight. Yeah, like you saw, it could be like she could win, but I won. It was close fight. I knew it that Gadelha is number 1. I'm striker. She's more like a jiu-jitsu grappling. She's good on the ground. You could see it. It was close fight. I won this fight. She almost went down, but it was the end of the round, so I could finish it. But yeah, it was a tough fight. I knew it. I trained hard for it, and I did my job, and I won.
Do you feel like this puts you in the spot to fight for a title against Carla Esparza?
I hope. I don't know. We're gonna see. Like I said, for me, Claudia, she's number 1. So I beat her. So I hope I can fight for the title soon. if Dana White and other people from UFC gonna say that I can fight, that I must fight, I will do it what they want.
March 14th, 2015, UFC 185, PETTIS versus Dos Anjos, Dallas, Texas. Jedrzeczyk next faces the newly crowned and first UFC strawweight champion Carla Esparza as the co-main event for UFC 185.
Do you feel like this title shot for you has come quickly, or did you think you could be here this fast?
Yeah, like the Dana UFC, they saw that I'm ready and I'm here, you know. Like I can handle it, and I was born for it, you know. I'm gonna be a champion.
First of all, Joanna, why did you give her a cookie?
She likes, and I want to be nice. Like I see her respecting her. She's a champion. Tomorrow we're gonna give good fight for all of you.
This is Jedrzeczyk's breakout performance. In a flawless fight, Jedrzeczyk KOs Esparza at 4 minutes and 17 seconds into the second round to become the new UFC champion. Jedrzeczyk also wins her first performance of the night bonus.
I am confident person, and like I said that I gonna do this, that I gonna be a new champion, and I did it, you know. I'm here and I've got my baby.
June 20th, 2015. UFC Fight Night 69 in Berlin, Germany. Joanna Jedrzeczyk defeats Jessica Penne in the third round by TKO. The bout wins Fight of the Night. October 5th, 2015, UFC 192, Cormier vs. Gustafsson, Houston, Texas. Namajunas faces fellow TUF alumni Angela Hill.
You've had to sit on the loss to Carla for 10 months now, and it's amazing what's happened in the division since then. She's somewhat forgotten as well due to her shoulder surgery. Has that been difficult, that you're still staring at that L at the top of your record?
No. I actually kind of like this little alone time that I've had. It's just a nice breath of fresh air for me, just because I am kind of a private person and stuff. At the same time, you know, I'm grateful for every opportunity that comes my way, whether it be slow or fast. Like I rose to the top really fast, and I know that it can happen again. So right now, it's all balancing out. Right now, it's a little bit slower, and I think it gives the other girls a chance to kind of show their face instead of it just being one person all the time. So it's good for the fans, it's good for me, it's good for everybody.
Rose Namajunas dominates Angela Hill and gets her first official UFC victory.
I think I've cried so much like yesterday and today, just being nervous for the fight, that I kind of didn't have nothing left afterwards. So it was starting to come up, but not all the way. But yeah, it's just such a relief to be able to get in there and just get in front of everybody and show what I know I can do. Like I said, I always have a tendency to just be like a tornado, and I have to pull it back. That's just when I'm calm and patient and like more like a cat and ready to pounce on the opportunity. I'm a lot more dangerous. So you know, I'm dangerous when I'm aggressive, but it's more just like, you know, crazy. And then I tend to gas myself out. So I had to really just pull it back and be patient.
November 14th, 2015. UFC 193, Rousey vs. Holm in Melbourne, Australia. Joanna Jedrzeczyk defends her title in the co-main event, this time against Valerie Letourneau.
You know what's interesting about this setup? Here you are, and you're just doing your thing, but right over there is Ronda Rousey, and there's a lot of people surrounding her. It's a complete mob scene. Do you look over there and say, I can't wait till I get that much attention, till all these people are surrounding me?
No, I take my time.
Yeah.
I take my time. I'm happy for Ronda. She's a superstar. I like her so much. She's a role model not just for us female fighters, for MMA fighters, but she's a role model for everyone right now, you know.
I remember not that long ago you were saying, I can't wait to meet her. Now it feels like you're BFF, like you're best friends.
Maybe not best friends, but I think we catch good relation, so we understand each other. We both are champions, so we understand the way, we know the rules, we follow our dreams, and that's all.
Jedrzeczyk wins a competitive but dominant decision after 5 rounds.
Yeah, Valerie was tough. This is what I said before the fight, and she can hit hard, she can get a lot. So I hope you enjoyed the fight. That's all. And who next? I don't know. Like, probably my hand is broken again. I must go to the hospital, but we will see. So probably I will need to take some few more months off. But I will see. It's all Dana's decisions. I'm gonna fight with everyone and anytime, anywhere, you know.
December 10th, 2015, UFC Fight Night 80, Namajunas vs. Van Zandt, Las Vegas. Rose Namajunas makes a quick return to the cage when she replaces the injured Joanne Calderwood in the main event against Paige Van Zandt.
On the fight, what do you think about Paige as a fighter? I mean, is she a media creation, a UFC hype creation, or do you feel that she's legit?
No, she has a reason for people to talk about her. I mean, she's definitely on a roll. She's very, just the whole package, and she's very exciting. So I think she has all the hype that she deserves. And she's a very formidable opponent, and I'm not taking her lightly.
How do you feel you match up?
I match up really great against her. My striking and my jiu-jitsu is definitely going to pose a lot of problems for her. And my wrestling and my clinch work is getting better every day. And I'm just really comfortable in her. Yeah, I mean, she makes a lot of mistakes in her fight, and just girls haven't been able to capitalize on it yet. I mean, she has such heart and tenacity that she's able to kind of make up for it in that sense, and she also uses her mistakes to her advantage, because some people overly jump on things, or try and jump on her back and try and choke her out too fast, and she gets right back on top, and she likes those scrambles. So, but for me, I'm really good into scrambles. Like, it takes me less than a second to see something and grab onto it, so she's got to be very careful.
In a star-making performance, Namajunas crushes Van Zandt and cruises to a 5th-round submission victory.
I feel like the position that she's in right now is where I was in a year ago. Similar. I shouldn't say nobody's the same, but I can feel for her, and she showed a lot of heart in this fight. So, I know she's gonna come back real strong.
And last question: the hair was obviously so much of a discussion point going in. Is that the new style moving forward?
I really like it, but I think I want to try maybe play with different styles, maybe a cute mohawk or something. I don't know, just whatever. But I do like it a lot, so we'll see.
What has been the biggest difference? Was it just the training? Was it a mindset thing? What is the biggest difference for you right now?
The list is just endless with the transformation that I've went through. But I could say the main thing is that I've just been focusing on me, and what I mean, that's just a really general statement, but it just, that's the only thing that matters is I put myself first and help others after that, whatever's left over. And just focusing on, not paying attention to too much of what's going around me and people talking and this and that, like really just monitoring all the pressures, and like I haven't been on my phone, not at all. So that's like one huge help. Is just because when you start to like look at the media and you look at things that people are saying, like you don't listen to yourself, and that's the main person that knows. So that knows in your position. So that's just one little thing. I guess I've just also been more honest with myself and constantly self-awareness, soul searching, and constantly trying to improve every day as a person and just try to be a good person.
April 16th, 2016, UFC on Fox, Teixeira vs. Evans, Tampa, Florida. In the first rematch of her career, Namajunas is set to face fellow top contender and Invicta FC alumni Tecia Torres, who defeated Namajunas back in Invicta by decision.
Of course, longtime fans will remember that you fought her way back when. She gave you your first pro loss. It was a very, very close fight. And I remember talking to you about this potential fight back in December, January, late December, and you were kind of thinking, all right, this is probably the fight that I'll need to maybe get that title shot. Are you happy that you're getting a chance to avenge that loss now?
Yeah, of course. Nobody likes to lose, and this will definitely be my chance and opportunity to go at it again. She's a very, high-level opponent, so that's just another, exciting factor of this fight. I like to challenge myself, and I like to go against the best, and she's right there, and we're right there for the title shot.
I just saw a clip that our videographer Casey shot of both you and her after the Invicta fight, and you were somewhat emotional, frustrated, I think is the better word, that you let it go to the judges, that you took some chances, it didn't work out and whatnot. Do you remember that feeling afterwards? Do you sort of draw on that as you're preparing for this to not sort of, recreate those same emotions and not be that frustrated on Saturday?
Yeah, it definitely was a learning experience. I think more than anything else, it just taught me to, give it my 100% and give my everything into it every day and try and do my best all the time. And if you give it your best, you have nothing to be mad about. So, yeah, it was a learning experience for me just because I learned to kind of control my emotions a little bit better.
Again, always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for doing this kind of off the beaten path. We appreciate it very much, and good luck on Saturday night.
Yeah, thank you.
The rematch goes to Namajunas.
Yeah, this was definitely the toughest training camp of my life to this point. So I just really had to, there was so many crazy things that led up to this fight that, but everything just at the very end would just work itself out. So it just kept letting me know to just have faith and just believe in myself. Even, there were so many times where I wanted to quit and, not even try. So, and Teach is a really, really tough fighter, and it felt really good to get back in there with her and, just give it my best. I know she was going to be really tough to finish. I thought, there would be a possibility I could in a second, but, I just had to keep pushing forward. She's very, she was tougher. She definitely got better. She's evolved more than I had expected, and, I give all the props to her.
July 8th, 2016. The Ultimate Fighter Season 23 finale. After a full season promoting their fight as coaches on The Ultimate Fighter, Joanna Jedrzeczyk rematches the #1 ranked contender, Claudia Gadelha, in Las Vegas.
Yes, I feel like I'm really strong to beat Claudia Gadelha. Of course, I have so much respect to her as a fighter. She's still #1. She was a #1 for a long time, so I really respect her and her skills. But it's time to prove one more time to her, her coaches, her team, and all of the people that I'm the only one really strawweight UFC champion. I'm still little Joanna from the hood, from small town in Poland, and I'm still having my goals, my dreams, and maybe some people think that it's all about the hype, about the fame, but it's not. It's all about being the best. It's all about challenging myself every day, and I want to be the best. I have my goals, my dreams. Like I said, I want to be undefeated, and I want to retire as undefeated. Maybe I will hold 2 belts in the future. Maybe it's going to happen next year. We don't know, but I know that Claudia Gadelha is the person who I must keep on doing what I am doing. Like, may all my dreams and goals come true.
Jedrzeczyk wins by unanimous decision. The fight wins Fight of the Night as well.
We were ready for a really tough fight with Claudia Gadelha. Really big thank you, Claudia, for this fight. We felt that she might get tired in the 3rd, 4th and 5th round, so I was waiting for my chance. She took me down. She was trying to control me, but I felt like she couldn't do anything on the ground. I didn't feel like she can submit me, so I was waiting just for my chance. When I put on performance, I always work so hard, so I have condition for 10, 15 rounds, and you cannot be so dominant all the time. I'm ready for everyone, and I prove it again tonight. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know. I know that I want to fight in New York. I don't know who is going to be my next opponent. I don't know. I will be ready for everyone. But the question is if they will be ready for me.
July 30th, 2016, UFC 201, Lawler vs. Woodley, Atlanta, Georgia. Namajunas is matched up against another Invicta alumni, Karolina Kowalkiewicz, in the co-main event for UFC 201.
I always enjoy listening to your interviews because I feel like you're very honest with your assessment of yourself, and I feel like you often talk about the mental side of the game, and like sometimes you feel very confident, sometimes you need to build on it. Is it fair to say that right now you're feeling very confident? Like, is everything clicking for you?
Yeah, I do. You know, I don't know. It's just been a really smooth training camp. It's been very smooth just being here during fight week. You know, usually like the last couple weeks of my training camp, I feel like I'm cramming things in and like, you know, always second guessing myself or like, you know, wondering after practice, did I give it everything? I don't feel like I did. Whereas this time I genuinely just gave myself, you know, and like gave it my all, and I don't have any regrets. I haven't been second guessing myself. So it's kind of like, that's where the nerves come in. It's just like, oh, I don't have any excuses this time, you know, and I'm gonna be the best version of myself, you know, like that's a scary thing. It's a lot of responsibility, and so, but at the same time, I'm very excited.
Kowalkiewicz defeats Namajunas via decision, but the fight does earn Namajunas her first Fight of the Night honors. November 12, 2016, UFC 205, Alvarez vs. McGregor, New York City, New York. UFC holds its first ever event in New York City. The undefeated champion Jedrzeczyk faces fellow undefeated Polish fighter Kowalkiewicz at Madison Square Garden. The champ wins by unanimous decision and keeps her title. April 15th, 2017, UFC on Fox 24, Johnson vs. Hayes, Kansas City, Missouri. Namajunas returns from her loss at UFC 201 to face Michelle Waterson in the co-main event in Kansas City.
I feel like I've really matured as a woman. I feel like I've really gained I don't know, just a new muscle, just a new will, a reason to fight, you know? Not just for the glory and this and that, but just, you know, use what I can, like I said earlier, to make this world a better place, and, you know, use what, you know, the universe, God, or whatever you want to call it, is giving me that gift to change people's lives. You see that? Feel good.
Namajunas obliterates the karate hottie and wins by submission midway through round 2.
Specifically, I remember, I think it was almost like 2 different instances, but one in particular, I remember she was kind of like pulling away from a clinch or some type of exchange, just that distance from like that A to B range or whatever, and I went to go throw a right hand, and it barely just missed her face. So I knew, or at least my body knew. I don't know if I particularly planned for it, but you know, my body just kind of took over and knew that range was there with the kick rather than the punch. She was just leaning a little bit too far, and then I hesitated right at the right time. It was just perfect. It was just, yeah, perfect. There's no need to get too specific just right this second, but I changed all my like email and like computer passwords to ANU 2017, so that's kind of just what I have in mind, just that general goal. So sometimes it's for the year it's over with, but I don't want to put no specific stamp on it just yet. Yeah, I didn't change all my passwords, but almost all of them. You know, you gotta tell yourself these things.
May 13th, 2017, UFC 211, Miocic vs. Dos Santos 2, Dallas, Texas. The champion, Joanna Jedrzeczyk, faces Jessica Andrade as the co-main event in Dallas, Texas.
We just saw you square off with Jessica, and it wasn't your usual intimidating square off. It was a very friendly square off. Why?
We respect each other. We know each other for a long time. I heard she said few things during the interviews that I have weak chin, that she's going to knock me out. Of course, everyone can dream big, and it's good. I expect good fight, and I expect the best Jessica we have ever seen before, you know, on Saturday at the arena at the UFC 211. But there is not a bad blood between us two, and it's all about the emotions, you know. I was preparing for this fight very long time, and I'm full of respect to Jessica, and that's the thing. We are going to put on great show, you know. I'm in good mood. I feel strong physically, mentally, and you are going to see better Joanna than in my last fight. That's the thing.
Jedrzeczyk dominates Andrade and jaunts to a unanimous decision victory. It is her 4th consecutive decision victory as champion.
When I became a UFC fighter, I was like, oh man, I've got a big chance. I cannot screw it up. So I put on great performance every with every fight. And the thing is, like, when I became a champion, my life got changed, you know. I'm not talking about the money-wise or material things. I'm just happy, you know, because I feel like I was born to be a champion, to be an athlete, and I'm happy to put on great work and make people happy.
November 4th, 2017, UFC 217, Bisping versus St-Pierre. The undefeated champion, Joanna Jedrzeczyk, returns to New York City to face Thug Rose Namajunas on the main card for UFC 217.